Hi everyone! Thank you so much for attending our Heroes vs. Villain Creator Character Workshop. We are posting these videos in case you didn't get a chance to make the craft with us. We have the older kid craft today, which is the dice pouch and also the dice tower. So I'm going to show you guys how to make the dice pouch first. That one's a little simpler, and then we're going to work our way onto the dice tower. So if you picked up your kit, you should have inside a brown paper bag a green circle piece of felt, a brown piece of lanyard, and a couple of beads. So basically, this is really simple. Just wanted to do a little something for you to carry your dice if you play Dungeons and Dragons or any game really that has dice. But what you're going to do is take your brown lanyard and take your little piece of felt. You're going to slip the end of the lanyard through one side, and you're going to weave it underneath through the other. So it looks something like that. Then you're going to flip over to the front side and take that same end and weave it back through the other hole on the front side. So you should have a string going across the back and a string going across the front. And then you're going to rotate it and you're going to keep doing that. So you're going to go through the back and then through the front. And you're going to keep going until you get through all the holes. And, oops, there we go. And once you get a little closer to the front, you want to make sure to hold the end of the other lanyard so it doesn't fall through and all your work comes unraveling. Okay. There we go. I'm going to hold this end here. We're going to go through. And it might seem like you don't have enough string, but trust me, you do, because the way this works is you are going to actually pull the string. So you weave it, and then you're going to take the last one and also weave it through. And when you flip it, so your string should be on the outside, you're going to pull, and voila, you have a little pouch. So this is your pouch you can use to carry your dice or any really little knickknacks and things like that. So now that you have done this, what you're going to do is you're just going to tie it. So you're going to do it like a shoelace, however you tie your shoes. I tie mine with a one loop and a little bow. Got your bunny ears. So, oh goodness, lanyard you have to be a little careful with because it is a little slippery. So if you don't pull it tight, it will unravel. So make sure you pull that nice and tight, and then you have your ends of your strings here. So what you're going to do now is put your beads on. So what I did first is I made a knot, then I put my beads, and then I put another knot. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a knot. You're going to wrap it around your finger like this, and then you're going to put your finger, kind of slide the end of the loop right at the end of your nail, and loop that top right through. See how there's like a little bubble there? Loop it through, and pull, just like so. And again, you're going to pull lanyard nice and tight, otherwise the knot will come undone and your beads might fall off. So I'm going to put my brown bead first, and then my white bead, and my green bead. You guys might have different colors, that's okay. If you have extra beads at home, you want to change it up, you want to add more, go for it. So now my 3 beads are on, and now I'm just going to make another knot on the other end. And that one, same thing, I'm going to put a loop, then slide the little end through the loop, like so, and then pull it nice and tight. Now you can see there's a little bit of a gap, but that's okay, that just will let the bead slide a bit. And I'm actually going to double knot the end just so the beads don't fall off in case my loop gets undone. Like I said, lanyard can be a little tricky sometimes. So I'm just going to loop it through there, give it a nice tug, and I'm pulling actually on the knot and on the string in opposite directions, so that way they kind of strengthen. And there you go. So that's your one side right there. And then I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm going to make a knot. And it doesn't have to be perfectly even, that's okay. When you pull your string, once you first put it through, you kind of want to make it even just so your pouch isn't like lopsided. But other than that, it's really, really simple, really quick, fun little way to make a pouch for whatever you want to carry. And then the next project is the dice tower. Now the dice tower, you can have a little bit of creativity with it. If you'd like, you can make it not a tower. Mine looks like an actual tower, but you can make it a tree, you can make it, somebody made it a cave during the program the other day. So you can kind of make it however you choose. You want to make sure it's just sturdy. That's the important part, because if you are going to be playing, you know, a game with dice and rolling the dice through it, it will, you know, fall over if it's not sturdy. So there you go. You have my strings. My little bow fell out, so I'm just going to put my bow back in. Pull it nice and tight. And there you go. There's your little dice pouch, or whatever kind of pouch you want to call it, to carry your little knickknacks. So that is your first thing, your traveler's pouch. And then the second thing we are going to make is, like I said, a dice tower. So mine, you can see, looks like an actual tower. It's got the little things on top. Not sure the name of it. And I just put a little heart in front. So what you're going to do is open your bag and take out your little disc, your toilet paper tube, and your clay. And the clay should be pretty soft. We kept it in a bag to hopefully keep it soft. If your clay is a little hard, just try to mold it a bit. You might want to use a little bit of water to help soften it. But kind of work your clay for a little bit. It's been sitting in the bag, so you want to make sure it's very soft and moldable. And the first thing we're going to do is cover your toilet paper tube. So let me just kind of run through it first, and then you guys can, we'll go step by step. So what you're going to do is you're going to cover your toilet paper tube. Then you're going to attach it to your little tray. And if you don't have a lot of clay, you might just need to just attach the base of it. If you have enough clay left over, you can cover the whole base like I did with mine. So it depends how well you work your clay. So for the toilet paper tube, you don't need it super thick. The thicker it is, it'll actually make this weaker. It's not very, not very sturdy tube, so you don't want to put too much and make it heavy. So very thin layer is all you need. So what I like to do first is I just take a small piece, roll it up in like a little squiggle, and then I kind of flatten it a bit. So you want to flatten it and spread it out. And I'm just going to fold mine in half and flatten it again to kind of spread it out more. And then what you're going to do, once you kind of have a little piece here, you can use your fingers a bit. If you have a rolling pin, you can use a rolling pin. Just make sure you wash it afterwards, so that way you're not eating food that has clay residue on it. And then you're going to take it and put it right on top of your tube. So I'm going to start right here on the side, and you can see it kind of covers the whole thing. It's really thin. It's not thick at all. And then you're just going to kind of spread it out and mend it to the tube. So you want to kind of really spread it out. Now you don't want to make it too thin that it's going to rip, but you do want to make sure it's not super thick, otherwise it's going to make it hard to, A, you're going to use more clay, and B, it's going to make it hard for it to stand on its own. So you want to kind of spread it out. You guys can kind of see here I'm mending it towards the bottom and pushing from the middle downward and outward, so I can cover my piece. So as you guys can see there, I'm mending along the side here. And I'm going to fast forward while I do this. So. As you guys can see, my tube is now fully covered, and it's still pretty sturdy because I didn't put too much on it. And if you want, you can stick your fingers on the inside and just kind of push all the way around to blend those seams. See, I have a seam here. You could also use a little bit of water, or you can kind of just leave it. It's up to you. But now my tube is covered, I'm going to work on my base. Now, as you guys can see, I actually have a lot of clay left, so I will be covering the whole base and then using the leftover to decorate the tower. So I'm going to have this guy just sit right here. Now, the good thing about this project is you don't have to use the oven. The clay will dry on its own, and then once it's done drying, you can paint it or use maybe Sharpie markers to color it, kind of decorate it however you want, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to start by kind of just putting along the edge here and just kind of spreading it out. You definitely don't need it to be super thick for the base. It can be nice and thin, which was good because then you can have a lot of clay extra to decorate. If you have extra clay at home, that's awesome too. You can use that to decorate as well if you want to add different colors without painting. But yeah, this is really just meant to be creative, so if you don't want to make a tower, like I said, you can make a tree, you can make a, I don't know, try to make it into a person somehow. Be creative. That is the main key of this whole project. Alright, so my base is done, and then now I'm just going to fill in the middle parts and blend it together. And again, not super thick, just kind of enough to cover the base and give our castle something to stick to. Alright, and now you really want to try to make this as smooth as possible, so you want to smooth out those edges and bumps, because it will affect the dice roll if it's very bumpy. Once it dries, it should be okay. You guys can kind of see here, mine's dry, so it's kind of smoother. Okay guys, so bear with me, my camera died. But all I did that you guys missed was add this to the base. So basically what you're going to do is once you have your little plate fully covered, you're going to stick your toilet paper tube right on top and then just add a little bit of more clay around the edge to strengthen it. You put your finger inside and kind of push against it as you push it down. I also put a little bit on the inside just to also strengthen it. So now if I flip my guy upside down and around, he won't fall. Now once he's dry, if you drop him, obviously he will break. So please be careful. But now you can use your extra clay to decorate. So I added a little circle on the front of mine. I'm actually going to make this a tree instead of a tower. And then I made some little branches. And then basically what you're going to do is just attach your branches however you choose. You want to put the thick part at the bottom. And you really want to push against it to kind of lock it in place, so that way your guy doesn't fall. I'm going to stick these guys on here, and then I have a little guy I'm going to put in the front. And the good thing about clay is it's very moldable, so you can kind of bend your branches however you want. You can put as many or as little as you want. I'm going to put this guy over here. You guys can't really see what I'm doing, but in the front there. And I think that looks kind of cool. So, as you guys can see, I've got my branches. Like I said, you want to make sure they're really on there so they don't fall. They will harden and then they will be in place. That I made, like I said, is a little owl hole in case you wanted to decorate it later. You could draw a little owl on there or just paint it so it's black while the rest of the tree is brown. But there you have it. You have a tower if you want to make a tower, or you have a tree. And for those of you who wanted to make a tower, it's really simple. All you could do is just put a little piece around the edge. So you roll it in like so. You wrap it around the top. And then for the little, I'm not sure what they're called, but the little tops, I just made a little kind of oval, sort of like I did with the center here, and then I just kind of squished them right on there, and then I just put a little heart. But you can put any decorations. You can put windows, and once you're done and it's dry and you're painting it, you can also decorate it with windows or whatever. You don't need to use clay. But yeah, there you have it, a dice tower, a dice tree, dice whatever you want to call it, and then you just shake your dice, you throw it in, and then you pull out your dice. Ooh, I gotta turn around so I can actually get it out. And you can see what your dice is. And the harder you throw it, sometimes it even just comes out on its own. I'll throw it on this one so you guys can see. There you go. And voila. So hopefully you guys enjoyed making... Oh, where'd my pouch go? Oh, it fell. Hopefully you guys enjoyed making your dice pouch and your dice tower or tree. Where's my dice? Oops. I'm going to put my dice inside. There you go. Close it up. And voila. Alright guys. We'll see you next time, and remember, stay creative.